Every man in Peaky Blinders talks to survive, except Thomas Shelby. He survives by not talking at all. Have you ever noticed how he barely says a word, yet somehow everyone listens? He doesn't shout, he doesn't explain, he just pauses. And suddenly the entire room belongs to him. That's not confidence, it's control. And it all comes from one rule of power that most people ignore. Always say less than necessary. Thomas Shelby's silence isn't weakness. It's how he controls the rhythm of every room he walks into. While others fight to be heard, he wins by saying almost nothing. Law 4 says, "The more you speak, the more ordinary you seem." When you talk too much, people learn how you think. And once they can read you, they can use you. Thomas Shelby learned early that silence does the opposite. It creates distance, mystery, authority. When he stays quiet, people start trying to interpret him, guessing what he's thinking, what he'll do next. That guessing gives him power. It's not about being cold, it's about control. Control over what others know and what they don't. One of the clearest examples happens in Season 2, Episode 1. Tommy sits across from Inspector Campbell and the Irishman. The room is full of noise, accusations, threats, politics. But Tommy hardly says anything. He listens. He watches. He lets Campbell and the others reveal their intentions and lose their tempers. When Tommy finally speaks, he says just enough to remind them that he's not reacting. He's deciding. By saying less, he makes the others talk more. And in doing so, they expose their motives. That's how Tommy always leaves the room with more information than anyone else. Soon after, we see this again when Tommy meets Alfie Solomons in London. It's a dangerous first meeting. Two men who don't trust each other. Alfie fills the silence with words. He jokes. He rambles. He provokes. He's trying to figure Tommy out. But Tommy gives him almost nothing. He listens quietly, answering only when he has to. No emotion. No reaction. That silence frustrates Alfie. He can't tell what Tommy is thinking, whether he's angry, amused, or planning something worse. And that uncertainty gives Tommy control. By not speaking, Tommy forces Alfie to talk more, to over-explain, to reveal his patterns. By the end of that meeting, Alfie thinks he's the one in charge, but Tommy's already learned everything he needs to know. Sometimes power isn't about who talks the most. It's about who listens the longest. By Season 3, Tommy's silence becomes a habit and a weapon. When he meets the Russian aristocrats to discuss business, he barely engages. They speak in long speeches about trust and loyalty. Tommy listens quietly, behind an unreadable face. He lets his interpreter do the talking while he observes every detail, their tone, their eyes, their hesitation. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't show emotion. And that calm makes them uneasy. They start to wonder how much he knows, whether he trusts them, whether they can trust him. That uncertainty shifts all the power to him, because when people can't read you, they can't manipulate you. Tommy's silence protects him in a world where everyone else exposes themselves through words. By the time he enters politics in Season 5, this habit defines him. He sits among powerful men, businessmen, and politicians who use words to impress and persuade. But Tommy plays a different game. He lets them speak first. He listens as they reveal what they want, what they fear, and what they're willing to trade. And when he finally speaks, it's brief, simple, final. The kind of line that closes a discussion, not invites one. He doesn't compete for attention. He makes attention come to him. It's not that Tommy knows everything. It's that he makes others believe he does, because he never tells them otherwise. Across the entire series, Thomas Shelby shows that silence is not emptiness, it's intention. It gives him control in chaos, clarity in noise, and time to think before he acts. He doesn't need to be the loudest in the room, because everyone else ends up revealing themselves first. That's the essence of Law 4. The less you say, the more people listen. Silence isn't about hiding. It's about mastering what others can't control, their own urge to speak. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe for more lessons from the 48 Laws of Power through Peaky Blinders and other iconic stories. Next, we'll explore Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. And as Tommy knows well, silence builds reputation just as much as words ever could.